Don't worry, I can't believe it either that I'm actually sitting here and recording for YouTube again. And I really hope that this time I'm gonna be here for good. So just to get things moving on my channel, I thought that today it will be a good time for a old sketchbook tour. And as I was cleaning my room recently, I found a couple of old sketchbooks of mine from 2013, 14, 15 time period. So these definitely look very promising, and I literally can't wait to see what I'm gonna find inside of these, because honestly that might be very interesting to see what was going on in my mind back then. And yeah, I just can't wait to see how my style has evolved and how things have changed throughout the time. So if you guys are excited to see that as well, and if you want to flip through my sketchbooks with me, then just keep on watching, you know. And I'm so glad that I'm back here. We're gonna start off by flipping through both of these sketchbooks one by one, obviously, and both of these, I believe, were created sometime around 2013, 2014. So it's been, what, like 7-8 years that I've done these, that I finished both of these. So yeah, it's a while, so you can expect a lot of cringy stuff in there. But honestly, I really don't mind that. It just pictures the time frame that these were created. So yeah, we're gonna start off with this one, because I believe that this one was the first that I created in this sort of manner, like a catalog sort of thing, the spiral bound sketchbook with this kind of cover filled in with Tumblr pictures, because by that time I was really obsessed with Tumblr and I had one that I was updating every single day with such pictures. So yeah, and Tumblr was definitely huge back then, and you're gonna see plenty of pictures and plenty of illustrations inspired by such pictures from there. So yeah, let's get into it. Front page with some inspirational quote and Tumblr picture. And we're starting off in a very high fashion manner, because I was really obsessed with high fashion brands back in the day, and I was really inspired by all those fashion shows. And definitely Balmain was one of my favorite brands back then. I really liked how they were creating those very beautiful dresses. They really reminded me of piece of art, and I was really inspired by them. Yeah, here we have another collection that I used to be obsessed with. So yeah, I kind of really like the vibe of those pages that I was creating, with some sort of silhouettes from the runway and then my own take on it. Here we have another superstar of back in the day, Cara Delevingne. Everyone was so crazy about her, and yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. So yeah. Another page is my phase of listening to rap music. I still do listen to rap music nowadays, but here was a time that I was really getting into it. So you definitely can expect more of these types of silhouettes. Just like I was saying, here we have some inspiration pictures. So here was my take on those sort of inspirations and how I turned it into an illustration. I remember I used to like it a lot. Oh, and this one used to be my favorite drawing. It was also created in this kind of swag style that was so in back in the day. Those beanies, Air Forces, and those t-shirts with like numbers, like jersey t-shirts. And also here, I'm noticing that I was drawing those shoes that were really in back in the day, and I did draw Nike blazers, and they are so popular right now all of a sudden. So you see fashion comes back around all the time. So yeah, it's interesting. Here we have some full body silhouettes, also inspired by this sort of swaggy style that was so in. And yeah, I really like them, honestly. They have a cool vibe to them. Oh, and another one of these that I used to really love, and I was really proud of how this one turned out. And here, as you can tell, I took sneakers as my inspiration, because I was really obsessed with Jordans back in the day. And once more now, Jordans came back to fashion. Jordan 1s are really something that everyone is crazy about right now. So it's definitely interesting to see how everything just comes back. Another one that I actually recreated like 2 or 3 years ago. This used to be also one of my favorite drawings that I did. And this one pretty much as well. Oh, I used to love this one too. And I remember I had my Tumblr blog when I was posting my drawings, and this drawing got reposted so many times. I was so surprised and happy at the same time because I definitely wasn't expecting that. So yeah, also inspired by this sort of swaggy fashion. Here my attempt to do something more girly, grungy. And back to, you know, hip-hop sort of vibe with Jordans and with this kind of very casual fashion. And this drawing, I don't know if you guys remember, but around 2013-14, this was so in. Like every girl looked like that. They had beanies, ombre hair, those green parkas, some kind of casual hoodie and jeans, and this was the style. This was kind of what was popular back then. So it's so cool to just, you know, reflect back on it and see what was popular and compare it to what's popular at the moment. And yeah, this was another example of what was really in back in the day. As you can see, some of my inspirations. As you can tell, I really liked gluing those pictures on the left side just to have my sort of mood board for the drawing. And I think it looks really, really cool, honestly. Some unfinished sketches, like always. These beanies, I don't know if you guys remember these, but they were everywhere pretty much. Here we have some more glamorous version. And back to streetwear sort of style. And as you guys can tell, and as you can compare to what I'm drawing right now and how my style kind of looks like, it's very interesting how I started off with just leaving the skin blank and doing full color on the outfits, and how I'm drawing now. It's really fun to compare and kind of see how my style has evolved, because in those drawings I can definitely already see my sort of style peeking through, and at this stage I can tell that my style was already kind of crystallizing, and I was already trying to figure out my best qualities, my strengths, and what I do the best when it comes to my illustrations. So it's definitely super interesting to see my journey through these drawings. Oh, and this was also one of my favorites. I really like the pose and her outfit, the camo print, the mesh fabric, ombre hair, obviously the staple for back then. So yeah, I definitely remember that I used to love this one. And also throughout this sketchbook, you can also tell that as much as I was interested in streetwear fashion and the sort of swaggy style, I used to love those high fashion model, off-duty, off-runway style. And I was kind of, you know, combining these two. I was kind of doing both at the same time. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that as well. Yeah, like here, for example, this typical model look. And here, like I was saying, back to the casual fashion. And this one is actually a drawing of the most famous Polish fashion blogger. She was really in back in the day, and she is, up till this day, the most popular fashion blogger in Poland. So I remember I drew her and she reposted that on her Facebook, I think. So yeah, that was pretty huge for back in the day. This is just, I don't know, this is just so funny, but I still kind of like this illustration. It kind of is very cute in my opinion. And yeah, back to the more glamorous side of fashion. And yeah, that will be pretty much it. I have some random pages here that I was yeah, some random illustrations, I guess. I don't want to go through these because I don't know what can I expect at the bottom. But yeah, this is pretty much it for this sketchbook. This was definitely a journey, but we still have one more sketchbook to go through in the same kind of style, so I'm expecting more of very interesting illustrations. So let's open this one up. I'm really pretty sure that this one was the first that I created, this one was the second, and I think that I might have one more of these. So if you guys are gonna be really into those throwback sketchbook tours, let's say, I'm definitely gonna try to find more of my old sketchbooks, so let me know in the comments. And yeah, as we open the sketchbook up, we see some very inspirational quotes, because I was this typical quote girl, let's say. I used to be obsessed with putting inspirational quotes everywhere, so yeah, you can expect a lot of these. And here we have some attempt of me trying to illustrate the front row of a fashion show. And I remember I kind of liked this illustration, but I wasn't a fan of like the background kind of thing. I'm still not very best with the background, so this is definitely something that I've been struggling since day one, let's say. And here, inspirations per usual. Here, some more of model type of illustrations. Alexander Wang silhouettes. Oh my god, this picture I remember so much, because this was probably one of the most reposted and most popular picture on Tumblr. It's like everything on this picture just works, like the colors, the simplicity. I like it a lot, even now, so yeah. Well, this festival is something that I've been obsessed since, like ever since, pretty much. And I always love seeing all those outfits that the celebrities wear, models wear, and just random people wear to this festival, because it's just so inspiring. It's just something totally different that happens just once a year. So I've always been a fan of illustrating those sort of festival outfits. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you probably noticed that I've been doing those Coachella drawings every year. So yeah, it's a sort of tradition for me, let's say. And at this page, we're back to some casual streetwear sort of vibe outfits. And here is a bit more girly spread with some inspirations of the runway and some fashion magazines pictures. And I remember this illustration was kind of inspired by me, because I used to own a dress like that and a necklace like that, and I used to wear it to some parties, so that was the kind of inspiration behind that. And here, another attempt to go for a more grungy rock type of vibe. Yet another kind of rock inspired drawing. And back to some more high fashion trends, let's say. Oh, this drawing was also one of my favorites, I remember. I like the simplicity of it and the outfit combination. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but those kind of inspiration pages, mood boards, mood pages, let's say, they're really fun, and maybe I should come back to doing these, honestly. And now that I'm seeing them, I'm like, hey, it's actually not a bad idea. Oh, and this one was also one of the coolest that I did back then. It just, yeah, the pose, the prints, everything kind of works well together. And also, now that I'm flipping through those sketchbooks, I see that I used to be kind of obsessed with doing red lip on my drawings, that I don't do very often these days. So yeah, I have to change that, I think. And here we have those couple illustrations, let's say, that are inspired by London fashion. Because I remember this was the time that I went to London with my friends, and I saw plenty of well-dressed people there that had their own individual and so unique sense of style. And I came back so inspired, so I was trying to like mimic that sort of London style in my illustrations. Yeah, as you can tell. And here we have an illustration that I did also like in the sketchbook, but here we have my attempt to redraw it after, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And you can see it's kind of totally different style, because the way I did the face is actually much better here than on this one. So yeah, it's interesting to see, honestly. Oh my god, do you guys remember those kind of t-shirts with those cringy like writings? I don't know who thought that it was cool, but now that I look at it, I'm like, girl, okay. Oh my god, this was so in, this t-shirt. I don't know if you guys remember, but wait, what was the brand of it? I think it was Givenchy that did those t-shirts with this kind of dog face with the stars around, and everyone was so obsessed with it. It was all over the internet and everyone wanted to have a t-shirt like that. So yeah, for me the only option to kind of get this t-shirt was to just draw it on my drawings, I guess. Oh, this one was also one of the coolest drawings that I did. It was this kind of yeah, those pictures were also all around Tumblr, where you had like female pair of shoes and then some sneakers for the male, and it was this sort of, you know, comparison. I don't know how to even call it, but yeah, I just did something like that, and I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. American flag print, totally 2014. Everyone had something with this sort of print. I don't know what that was about, but yeah. Oh my god, this illustration is actually pretty cool. And I remember I was trying to experiment with a little bit different approach, because I was inspired by some artists on Tumblr, and they had this sort of style when they did the hair very linear, and they used a lot of lines, like you can tell here, and they contrasted that with a lot of graphite pencil and this sort of softness around the face. So I was trying to mimic that, and as you can tell, it looks pretty decent, but it's something that it wasn't just my style, so I tried it out, I liked it, but I didn't feel like it's my thing, you know? More outfits. Oh, this used to be my profile picture, I remember, and yeah, I think this sort of portrait is really cool. But it's also interesting to see how big my illustrations used to be, because now I literally can do illustrations that are this small, and I never do portraits that are full A4 size. So yeah, a lot of has changed. Oh, this was also inspired by some pictures that I found on Tumblr with those kind of like walking poses. It was just fun to mimic that, I remember. And yeah, once more, it's really interesting to see how I never added any sort of skin color to my character, since only blank skin and then colors on the outfit. Kind of looks really interesting, honestly. And sorry for the weird lighting, but yeah, this is the only place that I can record right now, and the sun is really strong today, so I really hope that you guys don't mind that. Oh, and this I think was a I don't know if he actually got it, but yeah, I remember that he asked me to design this for him. And yeah, here my obsession with A$AP Rocky continued. I have some pictures, I have some unfinished illustrations. Okay, this one is interesting, definitely. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the end of the second sketchbook. It was honestly so much fun to flip through these both, and it was like a trip down memory lane through 2013 and 2014. Just extremely cool to see what kind of fashion people were into these days and how it compares to fashion nowadays. So yeah, I really hope that you guys also enjoyed flipping through these sketchbooks with me as much as I did. And definitely let me know if you are interested in seeing more of these, because I think I might have some more of my old sketchbooks, so I'm definitely ready to do some more. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me today, and I really hope that you're gonna have a great day. So take care, bye!
I'm just going with the gut, never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.